partner. Lo and behold, he doesn't pick it up.
Like, out of respect for myself, I'm not gonna drink this drink.
Threw me into a dish. She's like, hey, Mickey Mouse.
Just let the Nile fly, man.
What's the Jesus one? Last Supper style?
My man.
There he is.
Josh.
Jimmy Riley.
Josh Landers. What are we doing? What is up? Fresh haircut as ever. And I mean, we got the word. You put the word out, Josh cuts the hair, and he goes right for the sponsor. So I see you working.
Yeah, absolutely. This was myself. I mean, and you beat me to it there, Jim. I did it myself. I don't know your thoughts here. I mean, anyone could be a professional barber with Manscaped. It's really that simple. Shout out to Manscaped. You know, I won't speak too soon, but big things coming to the pod. You know the deal here, Jim.
Exactly. We thought we were gone. Hey, they bring us right back.
That's right.
Sometimes the kid Keen just needs a break from time to time. I respect that, you know? We all
That's
grind
right. He
it.
needs a kinky time. Kinky Keen needs to get kinky in his downtime. We all need a little relief from the 9-to-5 grind. Some of us have our own ways of going about it. Kinky Keen earned his reputation and his nickname.
That's a crazy nickname to have. Oh, for your boys to call you at least.
Showing up to your work in the Zoom meeting. Kinky Keen.
Kinky Keen, what up?
No, lots of big things. I've actually been really looking forward to this pod, Jim. I think
really?
I had a little extra juice this week. I had some extra juice this week. We got a great draft coming up. I have some big news to share. Just absolutely Will Ferrell, Wedding Crashers pumped.
See, I was doing the Donny T.
All right, I got two big pieces of news in my life for the life update.
Love it.
You looking for career or personal first?
Wow. Let's go personal. That's fun.
All right. So this one's going to be a bit disappointing to all the female listeners out there, but your boy's got a girlfriend, man.
Wow.
First time since I was maybe 17 years. I went a whole decade of not having a girlfriend. Never had a girlfriend in my adult life. But you know, sometimes someone real special comes around, you got to lock it down. So your boy is officially a boyfriend. And I got to say, I've been missing out, Jim.
Oh yeah.
Life is good as a boyfriend. I can't lie to you, you know?
I mean, I've probably been longer for me than it has for you, right around the same time frame. But
we used to double date back in the day.
I mean,
that's the craziest part.
And those were the fun times. But I mean, life is a lot easier. There's a lot less thinking that has to go on. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like you know what you're getting into, and the day to days doesn't change too much. I mean, you can make it change as much as you want, but you know what you got, which is pretty sweet.
I think that's the coolest part is like, all right, have some security. It's like, I have this connection with someone. I could look them in the face and be like, you know, I'm here. I got you.
Right.
And then the rest of your day is just a little bit more free, you know, a little bit more time just to work on other things, personal growth, you know, I don't know, exploring different things.
That's the Jocko. Discipline equals freedom, man. To some degree, it's the same sort of, you know what you have, and so you can now free up the time. You're not thinking about scheming on the low. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so we had all the conversations about my previous dating style. You know, I told her, you know, I'm usually a roster guy. You know, I told her straight out, like the second day we ever met, you know, I told her like, typically my approach to dating is more, you know, multiple people casually at the same time. Let's not take this too seriously. Right. You live your life, I'll live my life, that type of thing. And her thing was like, what about the discipline that comes with a relationship? You know, sometimes that discipline is actually the rewarding part, and you hit the nail on the head there with the Jocko quote. So yeah, maybe she's a huge Jocko fan. I don't know. I have to be. Where'd she learn this?
I was going to say that's crazy that she brought that up.
So now I got 3 months worth of stories to tell. You know, because I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. But you know, we're at the beach. I brought a football.
Nice.
She's throwing perfect spirals. I'm like, oh, who taught you this?
That's crazy. You know? That either means, I mean, I don't want to pause you, but that either means she's got a good dad, brothers, or She been dicked down for quite some time.
Hey, you take it easy, Jim.
Now, hey, I didn't say that's what happened. I said no. Those are the
I know.
possibilities.
That's what I was implying. But she does have a good dad. So
That's sick.
this past weekend, I met the whole fam. They did a good old fashioned family barbecue at her cousin's house.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, dad, mom, grandma, cousins.
Holy shit. Okay.
Eating everyone at once too.
And is she
Crazy.
from San Diego? Or
She's
that
an Arizona
area?
girl.
Oh, okay.
Arizona originally. Got her nursing credential degree, so
That's
moved on out here. Dude, nurses are in high demand.
And it's the greatest job ever for the spouse. They're gone. I mean, granted, you love spending time with them, but they're gone a lot of the time. There's a lot of free time to where it's like you can kind of grow apart in the 12 hours she's away, and then you're like, oh, it's so great to see you again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're in high demand. I mean, people are paying top dollar right now. It's crazy.
Exactly. So definitely proud of her and everything she's doing career-wise. Definitely really cool to see. But first thing her dad says to me at the family barbecue, you know, introduced myself. He goes, "Where'd you get that beer?"
It's sick.
I go, I got you, Mr. Lopez. I got you. So I went and grabbed him a beer. So it was off to the races from there. Everything's been super cool. Super excited to be able to just share that. And
no, that's awesome. So, I mean, did you make a big production of the asking out like as one would in like middle school, or was it just a nice, quick, to the point? So, like you said, it's been 10 years. So the last time you asked someone out, all the boys are around, I'm sure, hooting and hollering.
Probably, yeah, at lunchtime, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, yeah. So it was one of those things. It was actually so funny. It was 4th of July. That's when I asked her.
Sick.
And it was one of these things where I was planning to ask her in the morning. And the night before, we had like a kind of like a long not even a long conversation, but it was like brought up again about like how she wants to be in a relationship and stuff like that.
Right.
And like, I was trying to tell her like, trust me, I got you on this one. Like the message is loud and clear.
Exactly.
She's all, what are you waiting for? Yada yada.
You're like, fuck.
Not to go too much into our pillow talk,
yeah.
you know? But it was just hilarious. I'm like, can you just shut the fuck up? So I got you in the morning.
Exactly.
All right?
No patience. It's like, stuff's in the work. Let it play out. Everything's going to be fine. I mean, that's like, honestly, I always just think of The Office. That's Jim Halpert, where he's like, he's always got the right plan. He pays for all the fireworks, and then Andy swoops in, does something right before, and it's like, I got a plan though. Trust me. Yeah. Well, that's sick. I'm happy for you. You seem like a happy guy right now, and I mean that's all that fucking matters. But career wise, you said there's career moves too?
Well, I got another note on the personal as well.
Oh, okay. Personal. Yes.
I'm 11 days off weed.
Wow.
Off cannabis. Yeah. Resetting the dopamine receptors here.
That's crazy.
You know, trying something new, trying to fill in my time with something other than weed. So it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I sleep, I have a dream that I smoked.
That's what I was literally just gonna ask. How are the dreams? Because they say about 10 days in, it gets super weird. Like the first few days are like kind of whatever. Your body's still getting used to it, getting it out. But then like the first real sober days, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Every time I go to sleep, I wake up like, fuck, like I broke my streak.
Shit, it's like that vivid. You're like, oh no, like you wake up kind of sweating, like, oh, what the fuck, like that was real. Oh, that's terrifying.
Like I live out my like regret for doing it during the dream, but ironically, it just helps me the next day to be like, I'm not gonna smoke. Like, oh, I got a fresh start, like a second chance at life, you know?
Yeah, I feel
it's like
that.
I smoke in the dream, and then I'm disappointed in myself in the dream. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, Josh, you're all right.
You were sleeping, bud.
You were sleeping, bud. And then I'm like, I remember the feeling that I had in the dream of smoking. And I'm like, oh, that didn't feel good. So it's just like that extra motivation to keep it strong.
That's pretty crazy. I could see it
almost at 1 million seconds, Jim.
Wow. What is 1 million seconds? Do you know how many days?
Like 12 days, I think.
That's pretty good. I mean,
11 and 12 days.
I feel like that's the key of achieving any goal, right? Is setting, like, not even setting, but like keeping track of your markers. Like, it's so huge to look back on saying, like, I've gone 2 weeks. I've gotten, it sounds stupid, right? But like,
I'm on the opposite end of that. If you
Really?
plan on quitting for good, like let's say you're like, I'm never gonna smoke a cigarette again, don't count the days. That's how I feel. Because why are you? This is a Tony Robbins thing, but it's like, why are you counting? So you could tell people how long you made it this time. You know?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel with cigarettes, I feel that. With alcohol, I feel like counting the days is huge because those people, like, a cigarette's just so, you know what I mean? I don't know. It feels not as important as alcohol, which is bad. I mean, it sounds crazy because it's arguably probably worse, and it is a worse problem. But I don't know. Yeah, alcohol, like, I don't know. Just seeing, like, because they give you like a chip on what, day 1 or week 1 or something like that, and then it starts like getting progressively longer and longer. I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me. It does. Okay. How about for quitting, just in general? Obviously not your case, but like the 12-step program introduces a lot of religion. Do you think that's good for people? I mean, it's a lot of Christianity based, but do you think that helps people as well? Or could?
I mean, it totally has and does. So, I mean, who would I be? That's my big thing with religion. It's like, oh, if you're asking me, do I personally think Jesus is real? Like the power of Jesus? Like for me personally, I think you could pick Jesus, you could pick Santa Claus, all the same shit. But for me to say Jesus isn't real would be to deny like all the powerful things it's done for other people's lives, right? So it's like, to me, it is real, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus has helped people get sober, right? Like that alone is like, that is real, you know? So I guess it's one of those things, like reality is kind of like what you believe is real, you know?
Right. Okay, so going back to it, how are you filling your time now? Are you just like productive as shit, just kind of getting stuff done? Or are you
trying? Yeah, I'm trying to be productive. I did get so much laundry done, like in a ridiculous amount of, like, those are the little things. Like the laundry's getting done, the car is a little cleaner. You know, dude, just staying on top of the little things. Like the house has been cleaner, my room's been cleaner, trying to just fill in time in that way. And then, yeah, it's like trying to stay productive and stuff like that, especially on the career search. Your boy's been like just super struggling on what the fuck I want to do with my career and shit like that. So just kicked it into high gear after I got rid of the weed. I think I was a little comfortable. So now I'm just freaking dropping resumes everywhere. And that's a perfect transition into my career news.
Nice.
You're looking at the newest high school football coach at St. Augustine's Cathedral or whatever the freaking school is.
That's big time.
Huge shout out to Brett Foley hooking me up because his high school coach and his college coach are now coaching together down at this school in San Diego.
That's so sick.
Yeah, so they're both WG guys. And so he took me out there they were trying to get him to coach, but he didn't have the time to do it. I'm like, I got nothing but time, brother.
Right.
So I've always been manifesting like being a JV football coach too. They practice together, so I'm not sure like exactly what my role is, but
kind of sick,
I'm pretty sure it's like JV linebackers and running backs coach. So
sick.
Yeah, I'm so juiced on it. Like I'm super duper excited about it. So I went out to meet the coaches, and then I guess the defensive guy like had tickets to a Padres game. I guess his like nephew plays for the Mariners or something like that. The Mariners came to town to play against I don't know if he wants his name on the pod, but yeah, they came to play against the Padres. So he got us tickets. Me and Fees went out there.
Oh, sick.
Watched the game with him and like a couple of his family friends and some of his family.
See, I feel like that's a good test too, right? It's like if this guy's normal enough to fucking just chill with the family friends and doesn't make an ass out of himself and knows football, solid it. Like, let's go, right? And coming from Fees, Fees isn't going to give a bad rec. That guy's not going to put his name on anybody.
Yeah, and I have to be on my P's and Q's even more just because it's like Fees is the one that vouched for me. So now it's like I can't miss a practice. I can't be late. And so I guess the coach had called and left a voicemail like at the end of last week. I just never saw for me to like follow up and like give me the job. And I just never saw it. And so like Fees was pissed. Like he called me like yesterday or 2 days ago and was just like, check your phone, like what's going on? And I like check my phone expecting to be like he just texted
like a fresh
you, or like
text, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like I checked my phone. I don't have any missed calls today. Like, yada yada. He's like, all right, let me call back. And he calls back, and then he calls me back even more pissed. Like, he called you on Thursday. Like, freaking, did he leave you a voicemail? And I go, I freaking check my. Yes, he left me a voicemail. He goes, geez, Louise, man.
Oh no.
He was pissed. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Fee, you don't want Fee's pissed at you. He's like, he's a big bear, you know. But when bears are mad.
See, and I don't think I've ever been on the wrong side of the Fiesmeister. I'm usually the one doing the bear taming, fucking with the chair. Hey, down Fees, down Fees.
It was a scary moment. It was a scary moment. But I shot him a text. I said, don't hate me, Oos.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I said, actually. Yeah. And then he texted me today, like, did you guys get connected? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, thank you for your service, soldier. I got it from here. So
that's huge, because I remember you brought that up the last couple podcasts, like saying like, Fees, come on, throw your boy a bone, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it fucking worked out. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And
now the other thing is that I've had like a few interviews lately, right? And a few of the jobs like are 6:30 to 2:30, which is why I was like, yeah, I could do like, you know, this is perfect, you know. But now, like, I didn't get one of them. I'm waiting to hear back from the other. So it's like, if I don't get one of those 6:30 to 2:30 jobs, now it's really narrowing down the type of job that I can get, because I'm committing to this 4 o'clock practice. So now 9 to 5s are out. I'm looking for very select, specific time slots. And that's fucking with me mentally. But that's just today moving forward. So I just need a day to process. And I've seen plenty of stuff out there. You know, there's plenty of 6:30 to 2:30, 6:30 to 3 jobs out there.
Exactly. So. And that's the thing. Like, especially if you just are trying to get around, because like subbing is going to come back, right? And if you can, you can totally do that. Like, there's a need for subs, especially when the new school year starts. You get in the circuit, you're going to be getting tons of work if you want to do that. But like, even if it's just for the summer, doing a warehouse job, because it's like 24 hours, you can pick up a shitty 5 a.m. shift, 5 to whatever it is, and it's like you get a nice little nap in before practice, then go out and have at it. Now that's sick though. I mean, either way, you'll find something.
I'm just feeling a little weird, because I'm like, I probably should have got the main gig before I got this side gig. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be coaching. So we'll start there and we'll work our way around that. So it is what it is.
No, I mean, I 1,000% feel you. Like, I've been kind of going through similar stuff. Cause like, I just got a promotion at work, no more pay, which is kind of crazy, but
we talked about that in the last one. Yeah.
Like, so
don't call it a promotion.
Exactly. Crazy. But I'm doing so much more work. And so I'm just like dog ass tired by the end of the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm literally working. Not that I wasn't working a full 8 before, but like I'm working like from buzzer to buzzer now. It's fucking ridiculous. And so I get home and I'm tired, and I'm like, I gotta go to jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, fuck, like I gotta change that to I get to go to jiu-jitsu. But mom's like, why are you going? Like, you're obviously tired. I'm like, it's the one fun thing I get to do. Like, I gotta start prioritizing that. You know what I mean, a little bit. I gotta.
And the discipline sets you free. You know.
Bingo. Yeah.
Bingo. Come on, what would you feel better, waking up from the nap or leaving jiu-jitsu class? Like, I stuck with it. You're definitely going to feel better leaving jiu-jitsu class. No doubt.
Every single time. And that's like yesterday.
And you're never actually too physically tired to do jiu-jitsu. That's the best part, is like, if you're a black belt, you're supposed to be able to like effectively do these moves, even if you're an old frail man or like dog tired.
Yeah.
You know, like that's really what like separates you. You should be able to do it with as little strength as possible.
Oh, for sure. And that's kind of like I just look at it as like a low heart rate day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like not going as hard. And of course it starts that way, and then you get to rolling and someone, but okay, here, that brings us right to this. Okay. So I'm at jiu-jitsu. I want your, and not even opinion. It's a story.
Before you go, I want to just plant a seed that I have like an ethical proposition right back at you after this. Like, what would you do?
Okay.
Were we fucked up for this situation? So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Ethical. Right. Okay. Yeah. Because this one's kind of ethical on the other guy's side. So I'm at jiu-jitsu. It's this Saturday, and gotta adjust the mic. Saturday at jiu-jitsu, and it's like a smaller class, right? And 10th Planet San Jose. So I've kind of gotten to know pretty much everybody in there now, except for the guys that are in the afternoon class. I'm never in the afternoon class. So there's this guy in there, and I'm like, oh, what's up, whatever. He's got a 10th Planet, I think just like a OG 10th Planet rash guard, purple belt, though. And I'm like, what's up, talking to him. And he has long sleeve rash guard in spats with a giant cup, no shorts on. So he's got like the long sleeve pants, like the pants, the spats.
Yeah,
but he has no shorts underneath.
Oh, he's going straight like dick print?
Yeah, but he's got a huge cup on. Like, it's like,
oh, cut. Yeah, okay.
Crazy. So it's just like a fat bulge. I'm like already like whatever, like dapping him up, talking to him before practice or session begins.
Right off the bat, I appreciate the cup because no one wants to roll around with dick print.
For sure, but just put some shorts on. I mean, that's that's crazy. And the rule is 5 layers, right? You got to have 5 layers between dicks. That's the rule of jiu-jitsu. So
total.
Yeah. Yep. So I wear 3 layers, right? And then that guy's got presumably 3. I mean, he's got shorts under, or he's got like tights underneath, cup, and then spats, whatever. So there's 6 layers. It's fine. I mean, it's above board. We'll call it fine. Yeah. So anyways,
yeah,
not normal, but fine. So anyways, class. Oh yeah, exactly. But anyways, class goes on, and so like we're kind of open mat now, and we're just rolling around, and this one guy, Zach, who's a fucking ledge, sick dude. He's kind of a bigger dude. He's like my height, but just bigger. And like me and him just went like a 50% round. So we're like just having fun, like putting each other in different things, like letting each other escape. You know what I mean? Just like a nice flow roll. And so chilling. And then the next round, this guy in the spats comes up to me. He's like, hey, you want to get around it? And I'm like, sure, sounds good. And like, I've never rolled with him, just met him, but he's from the gym, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, sounds good. Let me go get some water. So I get some water, and he's like, slap hands, bump fist. He's like, oh, I should tell you, like, he's like, my neck's a little messed up. He's like, so just be careful of like the front headlock, like in the collar tie, like snap downs. I'm like, okay, like sounds good. That's a lot of my game is Darce right now, right? I'm Darce, Anaconda heavy. That's where I've been living. Fucking guillotines, that whole triad, I would call it.
Yep.
Sick. So anyways, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that's fine. I won't go after the neck. Like, I'll just engage in other things. So anyways, we're going, and we start standing up. This guy immediately fucking snaps down the hardest collar tie. And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, what the fuck? So I like kind of like duck out of it, does it again. And then like, I just like go with it and like go to the floor. So now I'm in top turtle. Tries to snap on a guillotine. I'm like, what? Like, after he just said, like, hey, try not to do this to me. So, like, I'm thinking, hey, we'll both stay away from this, right? Like, we'll maybe work footlock, something like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, this is bullshit. But, like, I'm already kind of rattled. You know what I mean? I don't get very rattled at jiu-jitsu. I'm usually, like, the guy who's fucking taking the piss, shooting the shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? So anyways, I, like, get out of that and, like, get into, I don't know what it was, like deep half. But anyways, we get into a leg entanglement at this point. And the rule with the leg locks with your training partners is like, you put on the lock and you give them time to tap. This guy puts me in a toe hold, and I immediately hear popping in my foot, like no time to tap, just immediately like snaps it and starts like wrenching. Start hearing popping in my foot. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like slapping his leg to tap. Like, okay, like that's strike 2. You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. Anyways, round goes on, gets me in a knee bar, and like I'm kind of like disengaging in a lot of shit. So he's like trying to get me in a footlock. Disengages, puts me in a knee bar, and goes belly down and puts all of his weight into my knee. And it's like my bad knee, so nothing can really, I mean, it's not really going to get affected. Like, it just swells up. Like, there's no ligaments to be torn at this point. But I'm like, what the, like, I like was really pissed off. And so I literally just like the end of the rest of the round, I just ended up holding on to him. But I was like, that, I don't know. It fucking rattled me. And so I had to ask.
You know better.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. He was a purple belt at minimum, probably higher, as he'd been training for years. And so I asked my coach after, I was like, what is the protocol? And he's like, dude, like, sorry that happened. Should not have happened. Like, kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know. And so I thought about, because I can get people in buggy chokes pretty easily, and so I thought about getting in the buggy and just like not tapping or not responding to, you know what I mean, letting them tap, and it's like,
Yeah.
just kind of letting it go. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, like not even worth it. Like I'll just never roll with that fucking loser again. But he's a grown ass man. He's like 30 something years old. I'm just like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Yeah, that's, so I got a fucked up foot now. I
was gonna say, after strike one, I was with him because you didn't say anything about your neck.
Right.
I get why you were surprised, but I was like, all right, that's all fair game.
Exactly.
You know? But he should know better than that.
Well, and that's what I mean. And it's like, I get it was my mistake. I left my foot out there. You toe holded me. You foot locked me. But like black and blue on the side of my foot. I like, all I do at work is walk, and so like I'm just like hobbling around. And I took today off because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna. And you know what we're doing in class this week? It just so happens all foot locks. And so like I go to jujitsu like the first like Monday morning and just immediately start getting it wrenched on. I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Your boy can't win.
Should have listened to mama for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Should have just stayed fucking home. But yeah, jujitsu's been kicking my ass. Yeah, no ethical dilemma. It fucking just rattled me. You know what I mean? One of those things. Just been rattled. What's your ethical dilemma? I'm curious now.
All right. So me, Dante, and Fretz live in San Diego together.
Oh, I think
Fretz,
I think you might have brought this up last time.
not this though, but
okay.
I just wanted to give context.
Gotcha.
So we're looking for a roommate, and we had found someone on Facebook. He seemed chill. He's like just graduating from Santa Barbara, like young guy, like to golf, like very just standard guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no, not the part about charging randos extra.
Right.
Not that. So what happened was we pretty much were to the point where it's like, all right, we're 2 weeks away, like let's commit to someone. And so I tell this guy, like, the room is yours. Like, if we could get you to commit, like, it's yours, you know? And so he commits on a Friday, right? He commits on Friday. This past Friday. So now we're 2 weeks away from move-in date when he commits. We commit back. We throw him in the group chat. We're like, super stoked to have you, et cetera, et cetera. Not 48 hours later, we get a text from a homie, Will McGrone.
Oh, no.
Hey, I'm moving to San Diego. Were you guys still looking for a roommate? Like, what's the deal?
Oh, shit.
Right? And so this is a conversation between him and Dante, right? And so I'm golfing Sunday. We could return back to this golf match, which was pretty epic. Me, Drew, Chad, and Dante for Dante's birthday. 7-Eleven, which I didn't get a free Slurpee.
I went to 7-Eleven, didn't get a free Slurpee either. Totally forgot.
Unbelievable. It seems like every year I forget. And nothing reminds you how short a year is than the free Slurpee on 7-Eleven.
Oh,
you're like, I feel like that was yesterday when I got my free Slurpee.
Quicker and quicker.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's factual. Because the longer you live, the less of a percentage 1 year is of your life. So when you're 10 years old, that's 1/10 of your life. But when you're 100 years old, that's only 1% of your life.
I mean, they're not actually coming quicker, though. They're still 365 days away.
They're perceived quicker.
Perceived, yes. The perceived time. Yeah.
Perception is reality, Jim. Some say. Let me get to the story, though, here. So I'm with Dante. I'm like, all right, Dante lets me know. I'm like, geez, man, like, is he in or not? Like, you've got to let us know, like, today, if anything. Like, this can't be, like, a dragged out thing.
No.
Like, if he's 100% committed right now, we can discuss what our action plan is, right? And so by the end of the round, he is 100% committed. So now we have someone that we already committed to and gave our word that they have the room. And then we have the guy that we actually want to live with. And so my stance on it originally was, it was like, do we owe this guy anything? It's like, the only thing we owe this guy is our word. And we already gave him our word. Like, we have to kind of stand by that, right? And that was kind of like my initial approach. And Dante's like, not to put this all on Dante, we ended up agreeing that the guy gets booted. And we're going to bring in the homie. So not to bury the lead here. We booted a guy that we gave our word that he had the room for the homie, which I don't feel great about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel great about it either, but
the thought process is that he could have texted us at any moment and said, "Hey guys, actually I'm out."
yeah, that's a crazy thought process to go in.
And we would be left with a dick in our hands, right?
I mean,
so
I guess.
his commitment was actually hearsay until something's signed. Now, I would have slept better if we just stuck with our word probably.
Now,
but I am super juiced to have Will McGrone as the roommate. So
right.
tell me on a scale like 1 to 10, like how like unethical were we in that situation? Like how fucked up were we? Is that we told him right away, 2 weeks out, find new living?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's really not that horrible, right? He's just great.
That's where I ended up.
He's
it's like
not the word. He's got to find a place to live anyways. It's like it was only 3 days. He thought I mean, he missed 3 days of looking time. So it's like he's already looking kind of late as it is. That's kind of on you. You should have this like 2 months in advance, knowing where you're going. But agreed. I think I would sleep better at night just telling him, hey, our friends, I mean, just being honest with them. There's no reason to not be honest with them at this point, unless he's got.
Well, we weren't
address.
Honest with him.
No, I exactly. I know that, but I mean, it might soften the blow. Not being honest.
We told him that our roommate decided to stay.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured. That's the easy way out.
Yeah.
But now he knows where you live. So if he's a real crazy person, I guess good you didn't have him live with you, but 2, he now knows where you live.
The guy couldn't have took it better.
Nah, that's
so
good.
Dante was like, if you feel better, like I'll break the news to the guy. You know, like I'll do the honors.
He call him or text?
Text. And not only did he text, he texted in a group chat with me.
He said, I'll
I
do
thought
the
you
work.
were doing the honors, not we were doing the honors. What the fuck? But the guy couldn't have taken it better, honestly. Not even a single what the fuck. It was just, oh, dude, that does suck.
Yeah.
Let me know if anything changes, you know? So all in all, after his response, I felt better.
Yeah, exactly. You feel a little bit, a lot better about the decision. That's a way better situation. Like, roommates are so hit and miss. Like if you don't know someone and they end up being a shitty roommate, now you're locked in for 6 months, a year, whatever it is. It's like there can be real issues. I've been watching on Netflix. It's like worst roommates or whatever, but it's literally about roommates that go crazy and try killing their other roommates. And it's like some are like friends for like 25 years and like she tried poisoning her with MRSA or something like that. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, you just never know. That's like Connor Young. I would say bless his heart, but don't.
The school shooter?
Connor Young, school shooter. No.
Am I thinking of the wrong guy?
Yeah, you're thinking of...
You know who I'm thinking of?
Yeah. He wasn't a school shooter. He shot Bookson, that kid?
I think so.
Yeah. He, O'Connor.
Oh, I'm not thinking of that guy.
Oh, then I don't know who you're thinking of.
But I know who you're talking about. No, it was a guy in our grade class who literally looked like a school shooter, acted like a school shooter, and then I think we found out that he did some fuck shit. I don't know what it was.
Oh, fuck. I don't recall that. But O'Connor did some fuck shit, and he's no longer with us. He's with the man upstairs. Sad. But anyways.
Dude,
what?
Fred?
Yeah, exactly. No, but Connor Young he was on Facebook Marketplace just like trying to get someone to take over his lease because he was going to move in with his girlfriend. And it was like he was getting these random, and like, remember this one, he added the guy, he was like, this is the guy. We add him in a group text, and he's like this big Trump-loving MAGA, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I can deal with a lot. That would get annoying. And then like
it's like I could deal with the MAGA guy in 2021, in 2022, in 2023. But as soon as election season comes around, it just turns into a different beast, doesn't it?
Crazy, yeah. And he had like guns in his profile picture. I was like, yeah, probably not the guy I want sleeping in my house.
This is the first pod since Trump got shot.
That's what I was going to say. So now, I mean, aside from it being a total disaster on the Secret Service and all law enforcement not securing that roof, I mean, that is like the first attempt on a president's life since what? Reagan, I would
Reagan.
assume.
Yeah, 81.
That's wild. That is like
I just think it's wild that he got hit in the ear.
I know. And dude,
it's like
and
you would think it's either a miss or a kill shot. Like
exactly.
I never even fathomed a world where you get hit in the
you
ear.
get winged. What the fuck?
That's just wild.
And because he looked at a graphic, you know what I mean? Like he turns his head and like I saw like someone put a diagram up of like him looking straight on and it's like through and then he turned to the side right in it's absolutely crazy. But I mean, what do you think happens if that actually connects? Live TV, we all see it. Twitter sees it. Everyone.
Twitter would be a gross place.
Yeah.
It would just get absolutely disgusting. Because I genuinely believe like half the people would genuinely applaud it. And I think you saw like after he didn't die, a lot of people were disappointed.
Which is crazy.
I saw some of that.
I saw some of that too, but way less than I probably would have thought. You know what I mean? Like a lot of, how could you have missed that shot?
I saw way more like support and reposts of Trump than I thought. Like it was a lot of like people who were like closet Trump people that after this happened, they came out and I was like, whoa, you're a Trump guy? Like, I was like, whoa, this is overwhelming. Like, I was not expecting like so many people I follow to just like support. That was just like, wow.
Yeah. And it really like, I feel like it is a sign of where we grew up too, right? Like Willow Glen, like you get a lot of people whose parents are wealthy and in turn pretty conservative. And so it's like they see that, but exactly, they were very quiet about it, but so many people I would have never assumed or like have never been political in whatsoever, like posting. I'm like, oh shit.
Now, did you watch the full video, like from shot to getting in car?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next morning I get a weird text from a number I don't have saved, right? And it goes, no one's talking about the Sieg Heil that Trump threw up. What do you think, Josh? And it has like screenshots or whatever. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that the first time. Now, did you see a Sieg Heil? I mean, I did go back and watch, and he threw up the hand. I mean, it was pretty Sieg Heil-y.
You're waving to the crowd through security.
Exactly.
I mean,
you want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
A screenshot, dude.
No. The video was worse than the screenshot.
I think I saw the screenshot. The screenshot was pretty bad.
The way I look at it is he's surrounded by Secret Service. Sometimes the arm angle, the release point could be tough when you're surrounded by Secret Service. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Maybe it's just a Roman salute.
Did you peep that? Did you?
I didn't even register it. I mean, I think I saw screenshots of people trying to say that, but like when I first saw it, like didn't register a Roman salute whatsoever. You know?
Yeah.
But
so same here. I didn't. It didn't register for me either. I had to go back and watch it like 10 times to be like, did he? Like, what's the deal here? He threw up that freaking.
Fight.
That John Carlos, that Tommy Smith. You know what I mean?
No, he's sick.
Will Ferrell.
He's sick. I hate to say that was a sick photo. I mean, coming up with the bloody ear that he's been killing at the RNC. People have been loving him. It's a sight to be seen.
I have some things to talk about the RNC.
Mm-hmm.
So Amber Rose kicks off the RNC.
I was just talking to my dad about that. I was like, you have no idea.
Cute.
But he was like, she was so well spoken and like I had no idea who she was like prior. Like I would have had no clue. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Yeah. What?
This is the part that I was confused about. They had her labeled as rapper and influencer.
Yeah.
Has Amber Rose ever rapped?
Yeah, wasn't she like back in the day, that was like her thing before like she got with all those guys. I think she was like a shitty rap, like definitely not known for her rapping. Like she's known as a rapper's chick. Like that's always been the thing. But I think she did start as a rapper, and you got to throw her a little kudos is probably what they're thinking. Like, get them on our side. We got a rapper here.
Side chick, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And if you say you got a rapper here, you're kind of hitting quotas. You're getting other people.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like, do they just think that anyone who's like famous part of black pop culture is a rapper. You know, because I'm like,
no.
I do not know Amber Rose to be a rapper even a little bit.
Right. I don't think
probably back in the day.
I don't think that. I think they're trying to get the people that are on the fence, you know what I mean? To be like, oh, Amber Rose, like
That's
I think
the other thing is who is on the fence and goes, Amber Rose.
Exactly, not me, 100% not me. But I get where they're coming from. You know what I mean? It's kind of they're so archaic and ancient in their fucking thinking. It's crazy, but like in a way I do. You know what I mean? Like it sounds.
I was just confused by the rapper label. It didn't register with me of her being a rapper, but I'm gonna have to dig back into the archives. Probably 2012 MySpace era.
That's
she probably had her own shit. Yeah, no.
That's I mean. I think that's what happened. Was she was rapping and then got picked up by some dudes and said, "Hey, ride the coattails. It'll be a much cooler ride for you."
Absolutely.
But speaking of fat people, no.
I'm down. I made a list for today's draft, Jim.
Did you? Wow.
So I'm more prepared than I had. This is the first time I've ever made a list. So
I like that.
I have a draft board. Like I have my sleepers. I got everything.
I'm trying to think. Oh, last thing before we go, kind of on the politics, before we go to the draft. I went to the dentist. Dude, I cracked a tooth. I kind of brought it up on the last podcast. Cracked a fat chunk out of my tooth and like pissed off. So I go to the dentist and I think they're going to fix it like that day. And he's like, okay, come back for a 2-hour appointment on Monday and we'll get it fixed. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I just like walked around with like a cracked ass tooth and it wasn't sensitive at all, but still. And it was one that I'd already had a root canal on, go figure. And so he goes and he's putting a crown on it. And like, there's like a lot of.
You want to crown them.
Right.
But they are who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were. But so there's like a lot of waiting time, right? Like the epoxy's got to cure this and that. And so like we're sitting there and we just start like talking about, his dad was like a pilot in the Korean War. And so we start talking about that. And then we start talking about Vietnam and then false flags. And then we start talking about Trump. And then he closes the door and he's like, you know what? And then he starts really getting into it. And he's like, I got to be careful what I say. He's like, I know these doors. He's like, I keep a lot of the sound in. And then he starts kind of like running the drill every now and again when he's saying, like, dude, this is hilarious. And I mean, wealthy man, you can assume what side he's on, but it was just like so holy shit, so fucking funny. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know what happened. But yeah, no.
Dentists always have great personalities. Like they're always like something where, you know, they're a jack in the box. You kind of never know what to expect, but there's always going to be something.
Dude, it was, and I've had only 2 dentists my whole life. This guy, and I hated this guy. When I was like a teenager, this guy was a fucking cocksucker. Like he thought he was God's great gift, and then he's like mellowed out completely, or I've just taken a liking to him being an asshole to other people. Either way, I'm with it. But my first dentist, Mr. Walkstein, I mean, just a or Dr. Walkstein, sorry, legend. I mean, I would just go in there, throw on the mask on the TV, him and his wife, little joint practice, get to the teeth. It's very sick. I've never been a big like anti-dentist guy. You know what I mean? I've never really had issues with it.
I look forward to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I mean, I got I'm a big cavity guy, and I'm just like, fuck it. It is what it, fix them up. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure I've never had a cavity, Jim.
That's crazy.
That could be cap. Like I might have just forgot, but like throughout my childhood, I never did, and I definitely don't remember ever getting any cavities filled. So I think I'm cavity-less and never had braces. Yeah,
I never had braces. Braces are the one where it's like, that's a sign of a real OG. You just got great genetics with braces. Mine, I just abused my soda and candy. I just said, fuck it.
That's probably what I was never a big candy guy, was never a big soda guy. So I think that'll get you halfway home with the cavities.
Absolutely. And like dark soda too. I mean, not like a Sprite, like a fucking Coke since 5. So good. But yeah, no, Dennis legit. All right, let's go on to the draft. We're drafting fat athletes.
Looking forward to this one, Jim.
Now,
I texted Jim. He said, you got any draft ideas? I said, what about fat athletes? First one. He said, might be the best one yet.
So good. Because it's weird, right? Like there's sports where you can get away being fat. and then there's sports where you shouldn't be fat, but some of those guys are still at the top of their game. I don't know. It's crazy. And I wasn't sure how you were going to take this. Is it going to be like the fattest athletes?
No,
or is
favorite fat athletes, but like I'll just use one example here. I don't know if he's on your list, but I don't consider Shaq to be fat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like I don't.
I consider him to be.
You pick him, you know.
No.
I get it, but
I consider him to be fat in like the last 4 years, like, and that's not my favorite Shaq. But I mean, he came in skin and bone. That's the funniest part about Shaq is he just said, "Fuck it,
dude,
I'm gonna get big."
He's built like a Greek god, dude. He's fucking chiseled.
It's crazy.
Like prime Shaq. You
I mean,
know,
even now, like when he tries, like there's been like twice where he was older and he's like gone on workout kicks and he like has a little bit of a six pack. It's like, what
that
the
is
fuck?
not a fat man.
No.
It's just not. Shaq is not fat. So there's some borderline ones out there like Shaq. So I just wanted to put that out there. For me, he's not fat enough to make my list.
Okay. Hey, more power to you. I'll let you take first pick. Wait, hold on.
Oh wow. Let me pull up my list. All right. I got it. And there's a little strategy on this one.
Okay.
Little strategy on this one because I think you love this guy.
Wow.
And this is your sport. I'm gonna go with Roy Nelson.
Wow. Roy Nelson.
I'll never
was on the
forget
list.
him putting guys in the fucking crucifix during his season, The Ultimate Fighter. Just both their hands locked down and just tapping their head like he's knocking on the door. He's like, they're not defending themselves.
Dude.
You know?
And could you imagine being in that crucifix and your neck like getting crunched by that belly? You know what I mean? Like that's a neck crank in and of itself. That fucking extra flab of fat. Ugh. I mean, he was
fat.
He was fat and he was sick because he just didn't care. Came in right at the 265 mark and he was just like, let's go.
And never had a problem with conditioning.
No. Oh, that's,
you know what I mean? It's like, don't let the fat fool you. That guy was in shape and his technique was on point.
And that's the thing. He came in, I think he coached, not like himself or like he was the head coach, but he like came and helped out on the Ultimate Fighter and shit. He's as legit as it comes. In MMA for big guys for sure. Damn, that's a solid pick. I don't know.
Was he on your list?
Roy Nelson is on the list. I have one other MMA guy, but he's not as fat as Roy Nelson, but he's up there. And I like that though. But yeah, Roy Nelson, lock it in. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck. I don't favorite fat guys. Okay, I'll go with one from childhood because this one.
Fat athletes.
What?
Fat athletes.
Yeah. What'd I say?
Guys. I just want to make sure we're not picking Fat Albert here.
No. Hey. I'm gonna go with Butterbean, Eric Esch.
On my list.
Sick. I mean, he was in. I think it was like. Was it Ollie's like knockout game or punch, whatever one of those games was back in Nintendo 64 as a kid, and he was like a cheat code, you know what I mean? Like he was not getting knocked out and you could stand in the pocket. So we'd always go Butterbean, American flag trunks, and then him and Jackass is like one of the funniest things of all time. The fact that they actually let him hit, was it Knoxville?
I think it was Knoxville in the sports store, like in the Big Five. Yeah.
And fucking like KO him, is absolutely crazy. But like Roy Nelson, he's a real fucking unit. Like he's round, never not been round. I don't think he knows anything.
He's the first athlete I thought of with this list. Genuinely, I went a different direction because I know you love UFC, so I decided to take Roy. But when I thought of fat athletes, Butterbean was the absolute first guy I thought of.
Same, and I think that's due to the fact like there's not a lot of fat boxers, right? Like I guess like Tyson Fury, you could call him fat. Like he's got a muffin top, but like he's not. Butterbean is a circle. He like his trunks are like a 70. Like they're crazy.
We're looking for circles here. That's right. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, no, that one, I mean, Butterbean, just think of the nickname. His name's Eric Esch. Where do you get Butterbean? That's fucking crazy. Butter and
Such
bean.
a good nickname. I don't know where that comes from. It's just so good, though.
I know. I wish I knew the origin.
Like, what is a Butterbean?
I don't know. Someone who likes butter and is shaped like a fucking
butter
bean.
flavored jelly beans, like the Harry Potter style. Like...
Ate too many of them and looks like that now. I mean, Butterball turkey comes to mind. And he's bald too. I think being bald as a fat guy helps. Makes your head look extra circular.
100%.
But
that's a great pick.
Yeah, Butterbean. Lock her in.
All right, I'm going to the golf links on this one.
Yeah.
Good cigarette and a Diet Coke. Give me John Daly.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to go with him for my first pick or not because, he's the quintessential. We say Butterbean is who you first think of, but when someone goes like, who's the poster fat athlete, I would put John Daly there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barefoot,
Especially
cigarette.
Rest the elbow on the belly.
It's a cheat code in golf.
It's a cheat code. No one ever talks about it. Shout out Fat Perez. If you know, you know.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's Bob does sports.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I saw him at the what's the golf tournament?
Race management.
Yeah. But yeah, John Daly is just the sickest, and it's like he talks about cutting down. And then he's like, "Yeah, I cut down about half the cigarettes, half the Diet Coke." And you're like, "Oh yeah, what'd you have?" He's like, "Yeah, just 2 packs and 6 cans of Diet Coke on the course." And you're like, "Wow, nice way to cut back, man. That's big time." But there's something to be said about Diet Coke. I've never seen a skinny guy drink Diet Coke. You know what I mean? It's only fat people. Skinny guys drink regular
I've just
Coke.
always heard the rumor that diet soda is just worse for you than normal soda.
Yeah, that's the aspartame or aspartame, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, the fake sugar, what they're replacing with. It's like, yeah, you're not getting sugar, but
there's something about like Celsius as well. Like it's something that your body can't process, and then it just ends up in your brain.
Yeah, I've heard the Celsius one. It's like a plastic or something that turns into, or that's weird because the Celsius is crazy because it's huge. Like everyone's drinking Celsius, not FDA approved at all, and so it's just like
really,
yeah. So
how do you sell it then?
It's like
I've always wondered that. Like I have some friends that like started their own juices,
right?
And they like liquor stores and like put them in this talk to the liquor store owner, put them in the shelf. It's like, dude, like. Those things need to be approved FDA style, don't they?
So I think there's 2 approvals. Like FDA is, I forget what it is. I would watch a documentary about this. I totally forget. But yeah, I don't think it has to be technically. God damn it, I'm gonna butcher it. Doesn't matter. Fuck it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ring the bells.
Ring the bell. Fuck. All right. Another fat athlete. This guy is was a San Diego man. Got a lot named after him. Baseball player. I'm going to go with Tony Gwynn.
I saw him on the list. I'm not too familiar with him because I never knew he was fat.
Oh yeah. Big. And his legs weren't necessarily fat, but just a big old gut. Big gut,
yeah.
Big shoulders. But he placed the ball anywhere he wanted with the bat. Like
that dude
rakes. And it's like Bonds has some stats that'll never be broken, but he also has like, I forget what it was. Like strike 3 called is like 4 on the career or something like that. Just an incredible crazy shit. But yeah, Tony Gwynn, sick. Died too soon. Could not lay off the chew. Sad to see.
Yeah. That'll get you.
But
make the switch.
Yeah.
Make the switch.
Just picked up a log today. Nice. Are you guys going through a Zin shortage out there?
Oh yeah. No, the factory burned down.
Oh, is that what happened? Did you see they're building a new one in Michigan or something like that, or Colorado maybe? Like they just put got a grant and bought a building Zin did to meet the needs of the American nicotine, which is sick. I
wonder if they're publicly traded, man. We got to get in on that. Their stock is rising.
I don't think they are, but I think Philip Morris is taking over the USA portion of Zim, which is like,
who's that?
Old Cigarette Boy.
Oh, nice.
Big tobacco, right back in the game. Which is kind of sick. It's like,
can't beat them, join them.
Exactly. It's our forefathers. We're just repeating the cycle. Everyone loves a little nicotine. But yeah, Tony Gwynn died too soon. there's a rumor that, and this rumor is completely false, unsubstantiated, that he recruited one of our friends right out of high school to go play at San Diego, play baseball. So, hey, I'll let you think about who that is.
I guess. I mean, there's only one name that comes to mind, unless it's your brother.
And it's going to be wrong either way you think about it. All right, next round.
Kenny Corey.
Wrong.
All right.
Wrong.
Just check the list real quick. All right. This guy's a personal favorite for me. Let me get my face back on here. Personal favorite for me. Probably the fattest, biggest, like, guy on this list, and also maybe the most athletic.
Damn, I know.
Vince Wilfork.
Oh, wow. That's not where I thought you were going, but I like Vince Wilfork.
If you've ever seen Hard Knocks, he comes out in the overalls and the boots and the cowboy hat.
Sick.
I mean, look up the video of him getting a pick six. I mean, nothing more athletic than a defensive tackle dropping back in zone coverage.
Yeah.
Like, he could do it all. There's videos of him kicking 40-yard field goals.
That's wild.
Watching him hoop, he's special. He is a special hooper. Fucking behind the back passes. It's always the big fat guys that are nasty at passing in the park, too.
100%. And I feel like that a lot of the time comes from people not ever giving them the ball. And so they're like not used to having it in their hands. So they're like, fucking take it, get it out of my hands. And so then you just get real good at passing.
Yeah.
But that's a sick pick.
So sick. He's probably one of my favorite athletes ever, if I really think about it.
Wow, that's saying a lot. And I mean, he's got a lot of personality too. Like you were saying, like I think he was doing the Kingsford commercials for a while, the barbecue shit. Just a funny guy. Sick. Big athlete.
Probably
Big
just like
athlete.
a perfect amount of famous, I'd say. You know?
Right?
It's like you see Vince Wilfork, you're not mistaking him for anyone, but at the same time, I bet he just lives his life.
Exactly. Like the average person's not like, oh my God, there's Vince Wilfork. But you get that one or two every now and again being like a big fan. It's like just the perfect reminder of the life you live.
He's not going to shut down the Starbucks. It's not like everyone's going to stop, working. Like if it's Brad Pitt or Elon or something like that. But he's still going to get are you Vince Wilfork?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You get one guy that knows and you're still getting your free coffee. Faux life. Damn, that's a solid pick. Was not on my list, but I like that. I saw Vince up there. Solid. I feel like football guys, and I have one football guy on my list, but he's not really a favorite of mine. He's just a big fat fatty. And so I might save him for last.
I'm trying to touch every sport here if I can.
You might pick him. Yeah, so I went Butterbean, John Day. I'm on what, 3?
I went John Daly.
That's what I mean. I'm just checking off my list. All right, Butterbean, Tony Gwynn. Fuck. I'm gonna go with Zion Williamson.
I'll give it to you.
You better. You guy's fat as fuck. Are you kidding me, dude?
I mean,
dude, he's fat. He's not Shaq. He was bigger than Shaq ever was.
He's circular.
Yeah.
He is definitely fatter than Shaq. So that's why I'm like, I kind of drew the line at Shaq. You got to be fatter than Shaq to make this list. And he's definitely a circular human being. So
yeah. And he's like, I don't know. He's a strange case because I really enjoyed watching him coming out of high school, right? Going into Duke, very sick. And then it's like, just been a slow peter off, never been healthy, has never had a full healthy career, I don't think, since high school. Like every year he's come down with something, hurt something. But when he's healthy, he jumps out the gym. And when he does lose a little weight from time to time, I will say he's not always super fat, but he is known as the fat ass in the NBA right now. He's not Big Baby Davis. That guy was legit
don't
fat.
Step on my next pick. Don't step on my next pick. That's my next pick.
The Big Baby?
Big Baby Davis, dude, fat as shit. That's the circle. If you're looking for circles, I
almost went like Zach Randolph, not fat, but like he looks like he would be fat. You know what I mean? Like he's got a fat face.
I would have gave you that for sure. The thing about Zion, and I've been saying this for years, I'm buying all the Zion stock I could get to this moment. It's so low, and he still has the potential to be the best player in the NBA. He had 2 separate All-NBA seasons, one as a guard, one as a center. I mean, he's special.
But his longevity is just, it doesn't look like he's going to be there. You know what I mean? It's like,
Absolutely. It's a risky stock to buy, but
you got to sell it on the
buy
way
the
up.
jits.
Yeah.
We buy it.
I guess. All right, round 4, back to you.
You already know where I'm going. Dun, dun, dun. You already know where I'm going with this one. Big Baby Davis. I mean, when I think of fat NBA players, I think of Big Baby Davis. So it's really as simple as that. Fat as shit, lots of energy on the floor. I remember he used to rock 0 at LSU.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Big Baby Davis, he was sick with the Celtics. Not too much to say about this guy. I don't really know that much about this guy other than his basketball career, but
Yeah, he's in a lot of legal trouble right now. There's one for you.
what'd he do?
He was defrauding the the NBA Players Association for insurance, I think, after he was done playing. Oops.
Gotcha.
He's
Faking an injury.
yeah, I think shit like that. But he was sick, and I feel like he was kind of the epitome of a slob, right? Like, he would do things and he was like quick, and then he would get to the other end of the court and he'd be like sucking wind, and then right back to it, you know what I mean? Right back to it. But he'd always be the fucking guy, hands on the head. So good.
Certain fat guys have that cardio where it's like, wow, I'm surprised, like Roy Nelson. And then certain guys have the cardio that you would expect.
Exactly.
And he's one of those guys.
Exactly.
But it didn't let him stop him from playing with pace.
Exactly. Quick too, but just a fucking lug. I love it. A tugboat. Whoop, whoop. I mean, solid pick. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Now I'm gonna pick a football player just because.
Yay.
Because I haven't yet, and I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of this guy. I mean, I would have been. I'm sure I would have been had I been alive back in the day.
You're going to bus.
No, I'm going the fridge.
Ooh,
Tuggy.
that's a steal.
That's a touchdown or a touchdown catch in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's literally the biggest guy on this list. Had no position, right? Came in, they're like, we don't know what we're gonna fucking do with you, but we're gonna make something. We're gonna find a place for you. And he
had the body of a D tackle, but he wanted the limelight like a receiver.
Sick, and he bought it. I mean, how many big guys do you see in commercials? I guess you get the Vince Wilfork, but he was doing like every commercial. He was the biggest thing. Star.
And people from a different generation, when they think of fat athlete, they think of the fridge. For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's why I'm like, I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not even like the biggest football fan, but team is sick. He's sick. Don't have a football player.
He was the biggest star on that team, honestly, like name recognition wise, even though they had Walter Payton.
And I feel like a lot of the other guys were like, they had some guys that wanted to be stars, but they had a lot of guys on that team that were fucking football players. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, I don't give a fuck about what we're doing off the field. We're going out there and we're fucking winning games. And then he was like the perfect accoutrement to that.
Exactly.
So yeah,
just a shooting star. We should all be grateful.
Old Perry, love it. Round 4. All right, round 5. Cap us off.
This one's easy for me. I thought about taking him with the 1-1. Let's tilt our hat to the side a little bit. CC Sabathia.
Oh, wow. You love women beaters. Nice, man. That's cool.
I didn't know.
Oh, shit. You picked him, locked it in. Nice.
Fuck it. He's fat enough to make up for it.
He's, CC Sabathia is a sick pick. He's like, and the thing about him is he accentuated his fatness, right? I feel like a lot of fat guys try to make themselves look a little bit smaller. They do the things. He wore the baggiest fucking jerseys, pants, whatever it was, didn't care. Just like, I'm big, let's go.
And when I think of him, I really don't even think fat. I just think big.
Just a unit, literally just a unit.
Yeah, just a unit. Yeah, exactly. But on the Yankees, wearing the pinstripes, did he used to rock facial hair? Because I kind of feel like he did.
Maybe a little.
I know you're
something.
not allowed to, but like
I'm not with the
hard time imagining him clean shaven.
I was gonna say, like, you can have a mustache with the Yankees, but I don't think they would have made it an exception for CC. Yeah, I don't know, but like the Yankees love like David Wells. I mean, just another fucking big.
Was
boy.
that the guy that pitched the no-no with a hangover? Is that who I'm
Oh
thinking of?
yeah, probably. I mean, there was just the story of him going
He was
around.
he was on my honorable mention.
Honorable mentions. Yeah, no, that's about right. But another guy, just a fucking unit and a half. Love it. All right, last pick, and I don't know where to go here. Right, I'm gonna talk through it a little bit. I almost wanted to go a little 2-for-1 on the baseball with Prince and Cecil Fielder. I feel like that would have been a steal. Both big guys. Big Poppy, not super fat. This is tough. Tough. Okay, I'm going to go with Bartolo Colon. And now this is kind of a deep cut if you don't know baseball, but he was baseball's fat guy throughout our childhood and played for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And so...
he's a baseball's fat guy, for sure.
Yeah, and he has
Am I making that up?
Say it again?
Did he have...
Say it again?
Did he have wheels? Was he kind of
no,
speedy?
he was fucking slow as shit. And that's the thing. So, like, I think he's gotten thrown out from right field a couple of times, like on should have been a single and just getting hosed. But he has, like, fat guy moves, right? There'll be, like, a ball, like a bunt, and he tries to field it, and he, like, falls over himself because, like, he can't bend down to pick it up, and, like, his hat falls off and just looks like a total fucking goober. But, yeah, just a big fat guy. I think he hit a home run his last career as his first home run is last year in the majors, something like that. Yeah, just a big guy. Love him. Bartolo Colon. I think he's still throwing for like some Venezuelan team or something like that. Like those guys just never stop. Yeah, I can't hear you. I think your microphone's covered.
Well, dude, I freaking
There it is.
I spilled my speed, dude.
Oh no! Oh,
Horrible situation. I'm trying to remain calm, but it's ugly.
well, we're done here. We've
wrap this thing up so I can clean up here. I
Yeah.
was trying to keep it profesh.
no, we're finished. I mean, you got a speed for Zins? I mean, my
Dude,
man.
sometimes you need to spit. I mean, at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Run outside and spit every time you got to spit?
No, you just swallow it. You're not supposed to spit with Zins.
Not supposed to.
It says on the can, I think.
That sounds opinion based.
I think it says it right on the old Kanski. Either way,
Come on.
that's the draft. We're having fun. Gotta love the spitter spill. That, I mean, reminds you of good times. How many of those have I dumped in my Forerunner in my life? Holy shit.
Well, I'm just grateful for Zins, not tobacco at this point. You know what I mean?
You don't have to clean with the smell. That was the worst part. Dealing with that, that wintergreen after it already tossed your dip out. Not for me.
Tough.
But that's the draft. Thank you for doing this, my man. I appreciate it. Go clean up that Zin. Until next time.
Peace.
Adios.